Good afternoon and welcome to the Glens Falls Board of Public Safety meeting. It's a little after 4 o'clock on Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. Let's call this meeting to order. Our first resolution is a resolution to approve the minutes of the May 10th, 2023 meeting of the Glens Falls Board of Public Safety. I'd also like to add to this resolution the June 5th special meeting minutes. If there's no objections, do we have questions? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you both, or thank you all very much. 2 is a resolution to approve the 4th of July fireworks demonstration hosted by Rob and Deb's Frozen Dreams at Eastfield Sports Complex on July 2nd, 2023, starting at 9:30 p.m. after the ball game. Glens Falls Fire Department has approved the fireworks application, and the fire department crews will be on site for the event. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. 3 is a resolution to retroactively approve the Lower Adirondack Pride Glens Falls Pride Day held in City Park on June 4th from 2023 noon to 4 p.m. with music, speakers, vendors, and possible food trucks. Event organizers estimated up to 250 people attended. Do we have a resolution?
I think we can't approve this.
Because it's already happened?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. It's already happened. They didn't sign the application. The certificate of insurance doesn't name the city as an additional insured. 3 defects. Also, it's late.
Can we resolve this by having them complete what Commissioner Seidel has requested, if that's okay?
Approved contingent upon the completion of the application, signature, and the certificate of insurance?
Yeah, the insurance is right. I highlighted it in yellow.
Now, what they did is they gave you a copy of a binder which says additional interest to City of Glens Falls. I don't know what that means, additional interest, but they also say that the binder becomes void when they issue a policy.
So how about this? Let us pull this agenda and have you not approve it until either I don't bring it back to you, or at least I can get it table it until we have a resolution for this. And I know that I've had some questions and Chip answered them to my satisfaction, but I'd like him to meet with you because of what our insurance agent's telling us between listing as additional insured and the other term is, I can't remember it. But I'd love you to chat with Chip and let's get on the same page.
Sure.
Not now.
Yeah, we find out.
I'm gonna pull this and just pull it, so we're not asking to approve anything that's not complete. How's that? We'll complete it and bring it back to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to add to the administrative burden of your office, but my thinking is, what are the implications? What are the consequences if we don't approve it?
I don't know. I don't know. The event happened, probably none. But I don't
Well,
know.
what if there was a claim? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're naked here, from what I can see.
So, yeah,
So let me resolve and get it after filled out and bring it back to you next month.
good point.
Because
Okay.
we don't know what happened. And
That's
we don't
right.
know who's gonna get mad because maybe their kid went to the wrong show.
That's true.
Saw something they didn't like and they're gonna sue us.
So it was their problem for not getting it in there, getting it in there on time.
Yeah. So can I make a motion to table this resolution?
Yes?
Yes.
Somebody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Let's see, number 4 is a resolution to approve the 2023 annual Glens Falls Symphony Independence Day celebration to be held on July 3rd at Crandall Park from noon to 10 p.m. The event will include the symphony concert at 7:30, as well as the annual fireworks display. Glens Falls PD, Glens Falls Fire Department, and City DPW involved as in previous years. Do we have a motion?
I move approval.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 5 is a resolution to approve the Glens Falls Collaborative Take a Bite Fit Fest on Wednesday, July 19th, 2023, with the rain date of Wednesday, July 26th, 2023, in City Park. Estimated attendance between 50 and 100 people, with no extra city resources required. Would somebody have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 6 is a resolution to approve a block party at 24 Grant Avenue on June 17th from 1 to 5 p.m. with road closures of Davis Street between Grant Avenue and Harrison Avenue, with the understanding provision for EMS vehicles be maintained.
I move approval.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. 7 is a resolution to approve the 2023 Pierce Arrow Society Annual Meet and Car Show on June 24th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at City Park, with road closure of Maple Street and Bay Street to Ridge Street. The mayor has authorized the car utilize the sidewalks on Maple Street to stage some of the automobiles as opposed to having them on the City Park grass. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll approve that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
That's a
you.
good compromise, by the way.
Thank you.
I like that.
Trying our best. What we've got to do is we'll follow up and just make sure that where we're closing those sidewalks, we provide clear signage to help somebody in a wheelchair get across the street and get around the obstruction. So as long as we do that, I think it is a great one.
One more thing,
Yes, sir.
able to get to the bank?
All right. Oh, yes.
Able to
Yeah,
get to the
yeah.
bank?
Hey, Chip, will you make a thing that they did come and visit?
It's
Yes,
my bank.
Yeah, it is your bank?
You gotta get your money.
That, I learned that the hard way with the.
So I gotta take
special
some money.
Plan ahead.
Closed down the entire Maple Street while business is open and nobody could get
I
to it.
know.
That was not my best moment as mayor.
Okay.
Number 8, new business. Let's see, we had the Mohegan and Glen Street closing. Several of you sent emails concerning. I've read through them. I believe you have. If you'd like to open it up for discussion, that's fine. I believe that no action is, as we called and found out what happened, there was not an accident, but it sounds like it was a close call. And that we have varying, from emails, varying opinions. Some people think we should really look at the thing and change the lights. Some people think we should make no right turns anytime on those streets. And I just, it's up to you. I want to open it up. If you've got discussion, then fine. But my feeling is that this wasn't a true, like, it's not like we had a massive accident here. And we haven't had one. I don't believe, I've asked Chief to look, and we don't have a history. This is not a identifiable dangerous area, although I don't want to minimize the people. We get a lot of emails from people saying, oh my God, please look at this, right?
Actually, in the email, Chief did look it up. They said it was 8 accidents, I believe, but none of them involved pedestrian.
None in doubt, there we go.
Yeah,
So,
this gentleman said he was recently hit.
yeah, and that's when we
Chief
found
squared that
out. Yeah, and when we found out
Is that in here?
say it again.
Is that in this bank?
Yeah, it's that page there.
Oh, okay.
What I looked at our manual that we were provided.
Yeah.
And I find it really hard to find anything that would apply there.
Oh, now I know what this is.
And,
Okay.
Yeah.
however, and going by several times and parking over there and looking, there is no crosswalk from the west to the east on Glen. There's the hand telling you yes, no, maybe so to go, but I didn't see a crosswalk. And the majority of the gentlemen and women, the employees there, cross down by the entranceway of Finch.
Right.
They don't come up towards the light, but there are the signals, but I don't see a crosswalk anywhere from the west to the east on
I
Glen,
would not-
on the south
I know what
end
you're
of
saying.
there.
I know.
They're on the south, not the north, the south.
You wanna say
I looked
something?
at it from Oakland Avenue.
Yeah.
Oakland Avenue is the only street that has a crosswalk that you can see.
That you can see.
Glen, it was there years ago, but it's just worn to, you practically can't
Are
see
you
it.
talking on the north side?
The north.
Both sides.
No,
south
I
side
don't, I would not approve a crosswalk on the south side, because you're going in front of left turn, you're going in front of straight ahead and right turn. What they gotta
That's
do
why they
is,
don't
they gotta
have
go up over Oakland and come across to,
To the north side of Glen.
no, yeah, they come across from Oakland to the corner there. What's the name of the street, Mohegan?
Mohegan.
Mohegan, yeah, that corner, and then they can go to their car in the parking lot. But to put something across, because I go that way every day, is too dangerous, and it's not feasible to do that.
Chief, you had one?
There's a walkway on the south side from their main parking lot. You go downstairs, there's a walkway underneath Glen Street.
That's why there's not a.
Takes them
I
right.
didn't know that.
That's why there's not
That's
a
why.
I did not know that.
There you go.
But I know that there's not
Employees
one there.
Know that, so if they park across the street on the north side, across from Cool Shooter and Sharon Arena in that extra parking lot, then they have to cross Mohegan to get to that walkway to go underneath.
Okay,
Thank you.
so,
Wow.
so there's
So-
not,
Solves that problem.
So I think we're in agreement that no action at this point is necessary?
right,
Fantastic.
It's actually safer, due to the high traffic volume, it's safer if there is not a painted crosswalk, because people will look and they'll walk faster. I got paper on this. I'll just pass this around in case anybody wants a copy.
Sure.
Caltrans.
Are you saying to remove the crosswalk that goes through? You don't have to.
In high traffic areas, here, just take a look at this when you get a chance.
Thing is, you've got patrons that are going to the Civic Center.
Yeah.
They use that crosswalk.
What you get is, Caltrans did a study, and so did Berkeley, about pedestrian auto accidents in marked versus unmarked crosswalks. And as soon as the traffic volume gets up to around 12,000 a day, unmarked crosswalks are much safer than marked crosswalks.
Wow.
What's an unmarked
because
crosswalk?
people, they just,
Where
Two
you
Cross
sidewalks
it
with
this-
nothing between them.
yeah, cross at the corners.
so you just walk across the street wherever.
It's not being.
If you
Not
read about,
identified.
you read the research into pedestrian behavior, it
Two
seems,
sidewalks, what do you, I don't get
if you have a
this.
sidewalk end here and a sidewalk end here, then there's a crosswalk between them, but it's an
Right.
unmarked crosswalk.
Well,
Nothing.
I don't get that. Is there a sign that says this is an unmarked crosswalk?
No, but there's statutes.
Well, how can you call it a crosswalk?
Well, they do, it's the state of New York, I would,
The
You know, at
state
the
of New
corner-
York calls
At the
a
corner.
crossing, a
Yeah.
crosswalk, and there's no crosswalk.
yeah, they all
there?
do,
Yeah,
they all do.
from corner to corner.
Look through what I dug up when you get a chance,
Well, I
because
don't agree with it.
they,
I can tell you
They
right
think they're
now.
safer because
But
they're
these
in
people
the
have little
crosswalk.
kids, and they're gonna be calling. They're gonna be saying,
Well,
where's the
hey-
crosswalk?
Yeah, well, I think that we're saying that as far as this conversation goes, that we take no action. I think we're done with that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
we're
think,
done.
and another thing that he's making us aware of some studies that actually say sometimes by putting marked crosswalks in, that you don't actually increase the safety of the street, you might decrease the safety. Now, that is a radical thought, but let's look at it. It's definitely would go against.
Yeah, I agree.
It would go against, conventional thinking. You would think that you'd
Absolutely.
take, a street, a corner that isn't marked and that you would make it safer by putting in a crosswalk. But let's read this and think if you want to talk about it more. I think that it's pretty clear right now. Let's not take any action on that corner and let's think about it.
I think politically, we'll be required to paint crosswalks here and there just to make people happy, but the reality of it is, when you get to high volumes of traffic, the research suggests there are a lot more pedestrian auto accidents at marked crosswalks.
Do they come up with an analysis of the cause
Yeah,
of the accident?
yeah, pedestrian
And what?
behavior.
Pedestrian behavior, okay, I
Is it-
can go.
Gotcha.
Listen, that happens, no matter if you got a crosswalk or not.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know, the pedestrian, what did he do, just step out in front of the car?
Yeah, if it's painted.
So it makes
how
it
do you
more
know-
likely.
Yeah, but how do you know what was the intent of the pedestrian? Okay, did the pedestrian say, I've had the right of way? I mean,
That's,
to
that's,
just to just say it's the crosswalk and it's the pedestrian, I don't get it. Because I don't know what the pedestrian actually was doing. If he was wrong, he's wrong. But to come out with something like this and suggest that based on this, you know, the data shows we should not have a painted crosswalk. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think,
I'm having a hard time with that too.
I don't think
It's
we
something
are.
to look into because it relates to traffic volume.
Well, there is a lot of traffic there.
And it might for this too, I mean, we gotta read it and then have a conversation. But imagine that we could use this not to necessarily take out crosswalks.
No.
But when considering whether to put one in or not. I think you kind of use some of this thinking already in the way that I remember when I was on the Common Council, I asked for a crosswalk because a neighbor had asked me for a crosswalk on Ridge Street, crossing Hunter at the corner of Hunter, where Hunter crosses
Yeah,
Ridge.
yeah.
And you all,
shut it
and I
down.
didn't understand it, but I now kind of do because time has helped me to learn more about this. But your point was, we don't want to encourage somebody to cross there. We want them to go down 2 blocks to Sanford where we have more lights, or where we have a light, and cross guards and stuff. And so by putting, if we had put a crosswalk there, we might have indeed done what this might say is make it more likely that there's an accident. But I don't know, let's look at it.
And we have disapproved requests for crosswalks.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and this might be justification as to why to do so in the future.
Right.
And so we certainly can look at it all and have that, I mean, I think these are all great conversations.
I'm
This is
done.
good, thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you.
thank you. I wanted to read a quick email that was given to us. I didn't know what else to do with it, so I thought I would share it with you. They mentioned public safety, and yeah, I don't know if this is completely appropriate, but it was an email written to me the end of April, and it said, "Dear Mayor, I'm writing to you to share with a horrible incident that occurred in the vicinity of Sanford Street in Glens Falls on April 16, 2023. I realize you participate in meetings with the Public Safety Committee, and it's critical that members of the committee realize that not all local citizens feel safe. On this evening, my young teenage cousins and a couple of friends decided to go for a bike ride because the weather was finally nice enough for them to do so. While on their bike ride, they encountered something they didn't think they would have to deal with throughout their lives as children, which left them scared and crying. They were called racial slurs by 2 fully grown adults driving by in a car. We can all agree that these adults should know better than to be screaming racial slurs at kids who are simply trying to enjoy a bike ride. I'm asking you to be aware of the elevated stress and trauma that's being cast upon certain people in our community, and for lawmakers to be aware of this. When my cousins arrived at home, you can imagine how scared they were. Seems that each week our nation is grappling with how to recover from racially charged crimes. My family and I'd like to see our Glens Falls region not become one of the locations of these incredibly tragic stories. Closing, I realize you cannot change the hearts of our fellow citizens, but be open-minded in ways to ensure that all constituents feel safe while simply biking down the street. Devaney Mills." So I wanted to read it into the paper. I know that you'd all agree that
You
this
know
is
about
this is
this?
tough stuff.
It's the first year about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it to you so you can read in the minutes, and then we'll give it to Chief so you can look at it. So, okay, wanted you to know it, and it's tough to think that this can exist in Glens Falls.
Do they still have bias-related crimes, Chief?
Yes.
They do, okay. I make a motion that we turn it over to
Turn this over to
the
the
chief, chief of police for further action.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And that is all I had for open discussions. That's under new business. Is there any other new business?
No?
Any other old business?
I just would quickly like to thank everyone for putting on the no right turn signs on Sanford and Grant and
Yeah.
Glen Street. They've been up a couple of months, and Tony has indicated to me that it has helped with that intersection.
Great.
Fantastic.
Even that simple
Yeah,
placement of those 4 has started what we're gonna finish eventually with the studies.
Fantastic.
So
Yes,
thank you
that's
all for
good.
that.
Nice work.
Yes, thank you.
Well, Tony was the
Tony,
one
well,
that,
thank us all.
he
Yeah.
got in my ear.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we listened. All right,
Yeah.
and And that's what we want to do, right? Show the progress. I think there's every committee that is making great progress in the city right now.
And Tony's aware that more will be done, but he was so thankful that we
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that small,
Please
small
let him know.
gesture.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other old business? Chief Smith's report.
And I didn't have anything on the agenda, I just wanted to let everyone know that our police social worker, Darlene Hackner, she started 3 weeks ago, so she's doing very well. And we have our new recruit, Hunter McKenna, he's getting sworn in tomorrow at 10 a.m. up here.
Great,
And he starts the academy June 19th.
great.
Great.
That's it.
Thank you. I'll just have you stand there. Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say that the detective's summary was very, very interesting. I actually worked on Mary Ann Weslowski's
You did?
a long time ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there is some very talented guys working on this, you included. And the dog is, I hope maybe, I have my own thoughts, but, you know, but that's a great idea. I hope it produces a lead for you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And please, Chief, stay. I just want to give you all an update. Councilman Landry, myself, and Chief Smith met with union leaders about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, to discuss any concerns they might have. And we know how short-staffed they are and how many hours of overtime. After meeting with them, they had produced some statistics for us about how many calls they answer. It is amazing that I think, and I don't want to quote, but I'll give you an example. I was shocked to hear that all of Warren County handles about 16,000 calls for service a year, and that the city of Glens Falls, Warren County has about 80 officers in their crew, their department. The city of Glens Falls handles about 15,000 calls, only 1,000 less,
Wow.
with less than 30 when fully staffed, and right now with under 15 fully staffed. So it is truly amazing. And so Chief Smith and I are working on putting some statistics together for you, you and the council also to look at. We're looking at what we might do if we know it's going to be a long summer with tons of overtime, and right now things are okay, but we want to have a plan if somebody gets hurt or somebody leaves, or God forbid somebody retires, even though I've tried to make a council resolution to forbid it, it didn't pass, so. I
Didn't do too good with Jamie
no,
either.
I found myself in a quiet room. So we're gonna do this so that we can see what we might have to do, and then I wanna share it with you, share it with the council, and then we're going to go up and visit the Warren County sheriffs and say to them, look, this is what it might be. Meanwhile, we're going to compare ourselves to other small cities, see where they are, mostly around. I want to look at all shifts and all the calls and all the service. It's been a hugely gratifying learning experience for me. These are tough times, but our police officers are doing such a huge amount of work. And I want to make sure we recognize it, but I also want to, examine it so that we can, we say, if we were to lose people and it affected the overnight, how would it affect us? How could it affect us? And so to try to be proactive, and that's where we'll come back to you with more.
Will you have an opinion too, Chief, on your thoughts
Yes.
on this? I didn't realize it was that many calls. Is the possibility of raising the complement of officers on the table?
Well, we hadn't talked about it. I think Chief should add his opinion to everything.
That's my
Yeah.
concern.
We need to get more in. We know that to get back to that
And
compliment.
the
Yeah,
other
sure.
thing that I hope is on the table is raising the entrance salary
So,
for the, because as long as I've sat on this board, okay, I feel the police department is woefully underpaid.
great.
Woefully underpaid.
I'll take if you'd like to make that as a statement from the resolution, I'd be glad to hear it.
All fair to pay, and you, if you do raise, I'm not saying that just because you're gonna pay more, you're gonna get real quality, but I'm gonna tell you, it will attract the best. Okay? And that's what I would like to see for this city, at least make it comparable
Yeah.
to our other agencies that are around there, because I think right now, we rank pretty low overall. You've already got this information, right, Chief?
Yes.
So I'd like to put that in the record,
Sure.
that we should consider that as a board. I know we can't negotiate, but that we can certainly,
I agree with you.
we can certainly make an impact on this if we're all on board with it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Should be on the other end,
So,
higher end of the salaries.
Let me reword it and see if I can come up with a resolution for you if you agree, so that the Board of Public Safety would encourage the, what do we call the committee that is about to go into negotiations?
Negotiation.
A negotiation,
Negotiation committee.
the mayor's negotiation committee to, strongly encourage the negotiation committee to look at raising the salaries to make sure they're competitive with other law enforcement officers.
The entrance salary.
The entries,
I'm not saying, I'd like to say parity
yeah,
with these other departments, but I'm not talking parity with the guys that are already here. I'm talking this increase is for that,
okay.
all right, to attract guys here.
Do we have a second to that motion?
Absolutely.
All in favor?
Aye.
And now that you made the motion, I just want you to know, we are looking at all, just so you know.
Great.
We're looking to see what we can afford.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to
Wanted
see
you
it
to know.
before I
We
go to another,
that, after
Another
we met,
venue.
yeah, after we met with that, leadership team, we also met with the entire, force as much as we could, everybody who was currently working, and asked them all to come in. I told them all that I felt they were underpaid and that I would do my best
I know you
to
have.
address it.
I know
So
you
I
have.
wanted you to know that, and, please, thank you.
At this moment, if I again could commend your entire force, all of you, for what you're doing right now and all the hours that you're putting in, sincerely. Sincerely, and I
would
know
like
that
to
I am
make that
speaking
a
for
resolution
everybody.
to commend all those officers for all
Commendation
their,
to them all.
for all their
They are above and beyond,
overtime
stepping up.
and attention to duty and
Devotion to the city?
devotion to the city.
Yeah, to all of us who live here, and I greatly appreciate it.
Do we have
As
a-
well
do we have a
as management and the chief, as well as
Absolutely.
management.
Do we have a
Looking
second
right
for
at
that
him, telling him.
resolution?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good, thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
I ask you to just approve the fire chief's, the fire department's report. I don't have a chief here to report it to you. So can I have a motion to approve the fire department's report, or questions about it, changes?
I'll move approval.
Do we have a second?
Yes, I'll
All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I will give you an update that I've just begun the preliminary interviews for both the chief and the deputy chief position. We don't have many people to apply for either one, but right now we have 2 applications for each position. For the chief's position, 1 internal and 1 external. There's some concerns that the external candidate may not be qualified, but we're asking him if he would be interested in, based on civil, not us, but based on, is it civil service? Civil service requirements. So I've asked him if the external candidate would like to apply for the deputy chief
You're talking about
position.
fire department.
I am, for the
Yeah,
fire department.
Yeah.
I am. And so, as soon as I'm done with those preliminary interviews, I'll be coming to you and we'll be doing interviews of those candidates.
Sounds good.
Okay? I wanted you to know we were trying to move forward, although the pay for our chief's position is not necessarily competitive with other police, fire chiefs either. So we're not getting people knocking on our doors. It's tough, but we're moving forward as best that we can. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. I think, I've lost my agenda.
I think we're all on the same page as far as the compensation for the fire and
Yes.
police.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, believe it or not, I'm doing, my best to make sure that the common council is aware of that too. I think they know it, but, we're actually preparing, we're getting reports from NICOM, New York Conference of Mayors, on, all other municipalities and what they're paying their staffs, so that we can look at it. Now, how much can we afford, I don't know, but I think we need a long-term plan
We
to
do.
how we're gonna address this, because I think as the nation faces a staffing shortage, everybody's suffering, but those who weren't staying up with the Joneses, weren't making pay increases all along, we're feeling more of that pain.
That's well said. That's exactly
Absolutely.
what's going on. That we're here and all of a sudden COVID happens, minimum wage goes up,
Escalated.
and everybody else raises everything else. Liability insurance, all kinds of things have been increased, okay? And our pay is the same. You know, we're doing the same. The city has to understand that we need to do this, okay? If you're gonna have a police department. And you know what? I think they will,
I do
all
too.
right?
They will absolutely do the best they can with it.
You know, I have a thought about something you said about raising the amount of money we pay new hires,
Right,
which is obviously important to,
Right.
to draw people. You know, there's always some people who we will attract by doing that. But we can't shortchange the dedicated, loyal, long-term employees either.
no.
Because that's who we've been losing, is the
No.
guy with
Yeah.
12 years, 15 years. We don't want to
Yeah.
lose them
But
either.
there's other reasons, I think, for that, why we are losing guys. I'm not sure it's all about money. Is it, chief, that they're leaving some of these guys?
Yeah, there's various reasons as to why people are leaving.
And we are not trying to shortchange raises going to the rest of the officers either. All I'm saying is our base, and you've been saying it yourself, we need to raise the base to make it more attractive to get people coming in here. I have a business, okay? I had to raise my hourly pay. And you know what? I have to pass that on somehow to the client. They either take it or they don't. But I can't afford to pay my bills to keep this business going. That's the same thing with the city.
It's just another
It's a
business.
business, yeah.
It's another business.
Fantastic. We're all in agreement, and we're gonna
Yeah.
look at all of
Yeah.
it. I think what we need to do is look at all of it and start someplace, and I believe the new employee pay is probably gonna be the easiest or the most important first lift. But we've gotta look at the whole thing across the board, right?
Right.
And
And I-
so,
Go ahead, Mayor, I'm
no,
sorry.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I think that when Bob said about the quality of the officers that we will bring in, I think that no discredit to the officers we have, because we've got some stellar officers on board here that came for not a lot of money. They came, and the ones that have stayed, I am so appreciative of, and I've asked, and I've talked to Councilman Landry and the mayor and the chief, and what I feel, my thoughts of trying to keep our officers and more than the 3 years or the 5 years before they jump ship. And so I'm hoping that our taxpayers will see this as a necessity in the city of which we live, the beautiful city of which we live.
Yeah.
And we are privileged, and I hope that not only our council and our mayor and the negotiating committee will step up to keeping them and realizing the need of paying them more. But I hope that the city taxpayers will also step up
Support.
Well,
and support what we're asking
yeah,
for.
sometimes you gotta bite the bullet.
Mhm.
And you know what? Now's the time, okay?
Great.
Yep.
Thank you. Any more, old business, new business? Having accepted the fire department's report, Do we have a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.